here we are again. Didn't get to do hardly anything at all tonight. Rather, I don't know what we're doing here. We have, it's technically 8, but on the camera it'll show it as 9. I'll try to do a little bit more here. There was a funeral service for somebody from the church cast, from the plays and sports camp, who had been one of the baseball people, Brie Shull. But one of the, now she was going to be in college. She died of cancer. And so so that has nothing to do with the story here, but that's why there wasn't any episode being filmed today. There was a funeral service. Anyway, so, yeah, that sucks. But, usually we do some kind of a dedication thing at the end of the Transformers story. If it's a political figure or famous character or something, we throw it in the end. It would be weird if I put this person, a dedication to this person in here somewhere, or a character or something. That would be odd. It would seem a little weird, creepy. So I'm not going to do that. But maybe a nod somewhere, but not a dedication at the end. She had nothing to do with trans tech. She had nothing to do with Transformers series. She would appreciate the gesture, but it would sound weird. So we're not going to put a dedication thing. It wouldn't make sense. She doesn't watch all Transformers much. In any way, I just thought to mention during this making of footage, that's what happened, and then it's in the making of, if you want to watch it there. Yeah. So she had a teenage sister, and her father was in the choir as a musician. I'm not sure what her mother did. He was also a Jonathan, like Mark Scartz, but different guy. Yeah. Also some of the early stuff mentioned him incorrectly in Valley Stories and On Location. He was mentioned incorrectly. He was a different guy. And then he was mentioned later as the other guy. So we were confused as to bearded, bear-like dudes that are in their middle age years, and they confused 2 or 3 of them together. And the other one that went to Oklahoma, that was somebody else, and he was not that guy. That was somebody else, and he was there, but he wasn't that guy. So it doesn't matter. That it's not part of Transformers. So I think what I am going to do as a dedication, not necessarily naming the episode in honor of this person. It doesn't make sense to do that. Makes it seem like one of the cast of the show. But no, On Location. It's a show On Location. On Location journals. Which they didn't know there's a journal, but there's a journal. It was a private journal. It was never put out anywhere. Nothing salacious or weird. It just isn't interesting. Diary, basically. Who's going to read that? Come on. Diary of Kal Kat. You're not going to read that. But Starship Locations on Location. So, but yeah, so the blogs are the most you get. Anytime we try to put up some kind of family story thing, something happens that it doesn't happen. And I've mentioned from time to time On Location journals, diary things. There were attempts to put that into the thing, to put the journals on. There were some old home movies, basically. Let's just keep it straight. Old home movies. Some of them were adapted. Some of On Location was adapted as old home movies. And I'm not sure where this is going. Other than we're on the set of Transformers, so this is just a little it's part of the making of. Well, I wanted to explain what's going on. So yeah, and church functions and things like that were also put on there in the journals. There were some early videos. There were family videos, and all of the family videos came to be called SAP Productions, SAP 1 Productions, beginning the whole odyssey of the Kal Kat show and all that. 2009 to the present. And all of the channels, the YouTube channels and stuff. It appears that niece and nephew and sister don't do YouTube, but they do Facebook and Instagram and all that other stuff that I don't do. They don't do YouTube channels. I do. I've got hundreds of videos. Now they see the original name channels of the actual name out of Brown channels, and it looks like there's nothing there. But actually, it's the Kal Kat ones. It's the review ones that actually have content. And the family members don't really want their stuff up there, really. Only when it's an occasion that's interesting, such as them launching a model rocket in the park. That was approved. That was the one video last season that was approved. You can put up the rocket launch in the park. That's funny. Because it's something that's vague. It's, you know, it was a semi-naughty, so to speak. They weren't supposed to launch a model rocket in the park. Nobody got in trouble. I did not. I just filmed it. It's on there from like over a year ago, before COVID and all that other stuff. But now that everybody's locked indoors and things, and they have the lockdowns and all that, it's like if you want more journals because you don't have as much personal space, you got everybody doing their own thing. So I don't know where this video is going specifically. I guess I'll put this section just on the channel because it's not really part of Transformers, but we're on the set here. But yeah, so I would do sports camp every year. I've been doing sports camp with the church since roughly 2014, I think, maybe earlier than that. 2012. No, much earlier than that. Yeah. No, it's been earlier than that because VBS was 2002 to the present. We're doing VBS for 18 years. They didn't have it last year. Sports camp was probably, I want to say 2006 or 7, probably. Yeah, 2006 or 7, somewhere around there. So the beginning of the Kal Kat, way back, the early. Yeah, because there were a couple of sports camp episodes I did actually put up, but then took down later. Because, you can't just put up that stuff without anyone's permission and talk about characters and show footage from sports camp. Parents would wonder why their kids are on some rando's video set blog. Don't do that. They'd wonder about the VBS one too. Yeah, even if there's nothing wrong with doing that. But no, you need permission. You can't put up videos and pictures of people. It's kind of like filming in the mall. I remember there's one year I was doing like a Black Friday and filmed in the mall. I think it was 2017 or 18. And some cleaning lady complained that I was taking selfies and pictures in the mall. The cleaning lady, not the mall people, certainly. I think that was after I had done the music video in the mall, which was ironic. I said, well, I did a music video here 6 months ago. They didn't say anything then. I also filmed a horror movie in here. I came back and filmed another little horror clip in there with the marching cards. I did one of those mousetrap project things in the mall while it was being renovated. So it was like, yeah, I've been in here a bunch of times. They know me. Mall management's going, oh, that's that. Never mind. That's fine. Oh, you can go there. He doesn't. He just puts it up on his channel. The mall's okay with me. Before COVID, you can't do it now, but before COVID. But yeah, so that was funny. And the directions that the lady was messing up on were that you cannot film a TV commercial in the mall. That's what the rules of the Simon Malls is. You can't go in there as a advertising agency or company and film your commercial in there without permission. Because rival stores might be all wondering about you and stuff like that. KTS is a non-profit, non-AdSense, non-thing. We don't make any money doing videos. That's not how we get that. Yeah, we don't make any money monetizing videos. We just do them for fun, for entertainment. There's no money changing hands at all. All the parody videos and all that is just free. Completely free. And now with the new regulations and the crazy new commercial bots, ad bots popping up with unkillable ads, we couldn't monetize anyway because YouTube has decided that they want to sell their own ads. So we really can't monetize on YouTube now. That's why a lot of people have switched to Patreon and other things, Skillshare and other stuff like that. We haven't needed to. Yeah, so. So yeah, the family videos are not interesting enough to go up. There were a bunch that were on there very briefly for back when Yvonne passed away in 2019. They were up for a total of 3 days and were then removed. Since season 7 of the Kal Kat show. Season 11 of the Kal Kat show. I think we're at 12 or 13 now. It was 11. That was season 11. Yeah, so, well, it's technically it ended in 2015, but season 11. Anyway, yeah, so this person, this 21-year-old that passed away was a sports camp coach, basically. Since she was little, she was like a coach, right? Brianna Shull. Even though her name was spelled Brianna, it was Brianna. Yeah, a very precocious character. And was indirectly knew of my niece and nephew from SAP Productions. So so if that footage of the ancient birthday party with the bees was online, it's not, from 2007 on Sarah's bee birthday party when they were like 10. She's in that somewhere. She's in that party that happened. But way back, 20 years ago. Not 10 years ago, 11 years ago. She's in, it would have been 13 years ago, actually, for 2007. 13 years ago. So she'd be in that. But she would have been very young. But some of the other ones were too. But they're not my cast. They're Sarah's, niece's cast, not my cast. But there was a crossover between the sports camp. Coach sports camp, and my niece and nephew stopped doing sports camp, and I continued to do sports camp after they left. Anyway, so that's just, I guess I'm going to put this on the channel as sort of an extra Kal Kat video saying stuff. But yeah, including them somehow would be weird, I think, in this episode. Maybe a dedication does kind of make sense, because there's no on-location outlet for it. Yeah. So it wasn't COVID though; it was cancer. But yeah. So that's messed up. There's something going on. But yeah, how do you tastefully put that in there? You wouldn't make a character after her or something. Maybe you do something like that. Maybe you name a place in the story Shull or something, her last name. Or maybe a character says heads up about baseball, and there's a character says that. And that would be a nice nod to that person that was part of the other cast, but you never saw her. Never involved in any of this, although she would get a kick out of some of these all Transformers much stuff. Her sister would too. Who was younger. I think she's 18. Yeah. They would get a kick out of the although they probably wouldn't get a kick out of the suggestive episodes necessarily. They probably wouldn't like those. That dark episode from last season, they probably wouldn't like that one. So I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a little too dark. The Halloween one might be too scary. Anyway, so that one too. But no, the fun ones, they would like those. They were anyway into baseball and Transformers and stuff, so I thought I would mention that, at least in the blog. I mentioned it in the other. You don't need to add that to this. This segment is not in Transformers. This segment is just on the channel, behind the scenes kind of thing. I'd say that's what this is. So is the other one, really. It's not really making of. It's behind the scenes. I include the other one, but not this one. This one just goes into more detail. It's odd. What do you do with that? Yeah. Well, there were other cast people that passed away or removed or whatever as well. We didn't mention them because that would be even harder to explain. So, yeah, in the end, we don't post to journals and family drama. It's much more fun to post stuff from fictionalized stories of Transformers and robots doing stuff than it is to actually have actual like people included in it. That actually is a yeah. So yeah, they're not going to be like they're not going to pretend like any of the cast in the Transformers story passed away or anything. That'd be silly. We're not going to do that. It's not connected. It's just that the other stuff's going down. That's all. Anyway, so it's not connected to that. It's not like on Star Trek Discovery when they named a ship the Nog. How would they even remember that? Like hundreds of years later? I don't know. 900 years later? How would they even know? Like, yeah. That was cute, but it would have been more fitting in Picard, the Picard show, than it would be in Discovery. But yeah, I guess you could have a nod somewhere in there to just people, just to have them wonder. Maybe a character called Brianna shows up, and Brianna, no Brianna. That would be cute. Just do that little gag in there. No one will figure out what it is. And then inevitably in the future, when we actually are famous enough to do a convention again, and there are conventions again, somebody will inevitably ask, "Who was Brianna? What was that about?" And there'll be this long line. Okay, who's Brianna? Oh, it's a sports camp kid that passed away. So to heaven. So we decided to include mention of her name in the credits. So yeah, or as a character offhandedly walks in. Sure, we should probably do something like that. But she was not associated with Trans Tech in any way. But she would appreciate it. She did like the Bumblebee. She appreciate it. So yeah, we'll do something like that. In fact, there's a character who briefly appears in the show called Megan that we could just rename Brie. That doesn't appear in any of the other stories. She's just in this one. We could do that if you didn't think that was too weird. I mean, they could just say, "Well, it's the other." But I'll think about it. Whether that